Nothing can outrun light. Everybody knows that one. Einstein, cosmic speed limit, case closed. Except that's not quite the rule. The rule is that nothing can outrun light through space. Nobody ever said anything about space itself. And that little loophole, that's where this entire mystery lives. Here's the picture most people carry around in their heads. Some kind of explosion happened, and everything went flying outward like shrapnel from a bomb. Galaxies racing away from us through empty space. It's a nice image. It's also completely wrong. Nothing is moving through space in this story. Space itself is stretching. Picture a balloon with dots painted on it. Blow it up slowly, and every dot drifts farther from every other dot. But none of those dots is crawling across the rubber. The rubber itself is what's expanding, and the dots are just going along for the ride. That's the universe. Galaxies aren't fleeing anything. The room they're standing in is getting bigger, and they haven't taken a single step. Okay, so if nothing's really moving, why does it look exactly like something's moving, and moving fast? Here's where it gets good. Every little patch of space is stretching by the same tiny amount, some fixed percentage, everywhere, all the time. Now stack a bunch of those patches end to end. A short stretch of space between two nearby points barely grows at all in any given second. But a long stretch, with billions of those tiny patches lined up between 2 points, all of them stretching simultaneously, adds up to something enormous. Same rate, applied over more distance, equals more total speed. It's just arithmetic riding on top of geometry. And if you keep stacking distance, sooner or later that accumulated speed crosses the speed of light. Not because any galaxy floored the gas pedal, because there was simply more space in between, all expanding together, all at once. Now sit with that for a second, because this is the part that should genuinely unsettle you. There's a line out there. Physicists call it the Hubble radius. And past that line, the space between us and a galaxy is growing faster than light can cross it. Which means light leaving that galaxy right now, heading straight toward us, is losing ground. Every second, the gap it needs to close gets bigger, not smaller. That light is never arriving. Not yet. Not, we need a bigger telescope. Never. Some galaxies out there are already gone from us, permanently, and we haven't even noticed yet, because the last light they sent us is still en route, still traveling, toward a version of Earth that will exist long after we're all dust, if it arrives at all. That's not distance, that's exile. And it's already happened to more of the universe than you'd think. So what's actually doing this? What's stretching the fabric of space itself, relentlessly, everywhere, all the time? Here's where I have to be honest with you, because this is where the textbooks get a little slippery. We gave it a name, dark energy. Sounds authoritative, doesn't it? Like we've got it figured out. We don't. A name is not an explanation. It's a label we stuck on the mystery so we could talk about it without admitting we're stumped. What we actually know is this. Roughly 68% of everything in the universe is this stuff, this effect, this pressure, baked directly into empty space itself. And it isn't holding steady. It isn't fading as the universe grows, the way you might expect an old explosion to lose steam over time. It's winning. Harder. Every single year. Gravity's been pulling galaxies together since the beginning, patiently, the way it always does. And this other thing, whatever it is, keeps outmuscling it, more decisively, with each passing moment. We're not describing a mechanism here, we're describing a scoreboard. And the away team keeps padding its lead. Which brings us to something almost nobody thinks about. And once you do, it's hard to stop thinking about it. The night sky has an expiration date. Right now, tonight, if you go outside and look up, you're looking at galaxies, billions of them, at least in principle, if you had a strong enough telescope. You're looking at the afterglow of the Big Bang itself, still detectable, still telling us where all of this came from. It feels permanent. It feels like it's just there, the way the ocean is there, the way mountains are there. It's not permanent. Push the clock forward, not by millions of years, by trillions. And every single one of those other galaxies will have crossed that horizon. Every one redshifted into invisibility, stretched out of existence as far as any observer here is concerned. The evidence for the Big Bang, gone. The evidence that other galaxies ever existed, gone. Someone standing on a planet like ours, in that unimaginably distant future, will look up and see one galaxy, their own, surrounded by absolute black. And they will have no way, none, of ever discovering that the universe used to be full of light. They'll build their own physics from scratch, and their physics will tell them the universe is a single galaxy floating alone in an empty void. And they'll be wrong, and there will be no possible experiment to prove otherwise. The proof will have physically, permanently left the stage. And here's the part that actually gets me, the part I keep coming back to. We happen to be alive during the one era when this question can even be asked. Think about what that means. Every future civilization, assuming anything like us ever exists that far ahead, is going to be born into a universe that looks empty, looks static, looks like it's always been just one lonely galaxy drifting in the dark. They won't have our data. They won't have our galaxies to point telescopes at, our redshift measurements, our microwave background radiation whispering about a hot, dense beginning. All of that will be over their horizon, gone, unreachable, the way those doomed galaxies are already unreachable to some far future version of us. We're not just observers of the universe. We are observers of a universe caught in a moment, an incredibly brief window, cosmically speaking, where the evidence hasn't disappeared yet, where the sky is still full enough, still lit up enough, that a species standing on a rock can look up and actually piece together the story of everything. Billions of years from now, that window closes, not because the universe changes its mind, but because the geometry finishes what it started, and the last galaxy slips over the edge, and the sky goes dark and stays that way, forever, for anyone unlucky enough to be born after. We got here early enough to see it, early enough to ask the question at all. That's not a small thing. That might be one of the strangest kinds of luck there is, not being alive at the end of something, but being alive during the narrow, fleeting instant when the proof is still visible, before the universe quietly, permanently closes the curtain on itself.